again.
That wasn't actually stuff. So we are zooming in.
Knight f6, knight f3, d5.
It can still be no
Yeah.
No
e6.
Slav, okay.
So the trademark tricky line by
E6,
Dubov.
I think, is a move. Okay, he goes for c5.
Bishop takes c4, c takes d4. Castles.
Wow, so aggressive right from the start.
Yes, such is the line.
Dubov
Yeah, I honestly don't know anything about this line.
knows.
So, it looks like white has sacrificed a pawn. You're looking for the games, Peter, yeah?
Yes, I'm looking
We
for the
do
games.
have the
and
games. Yeah.
You have the games, wow.
Games.
Okay.
And, yeah, I don't know if it's any helpful because. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is kind of fascinating. White has sacrificed a pawn and the bishop pair.
Yeah, I also
It's
have
quite,
the games.
quite a risky way of playing for white, no?
Of course, this whole line is kind of a big bluff,
Yeah, well, I mean, where do you see white's compensation?
and Arjun is calling the bluff.
Yeah. But Dubov is still over 3 minutes, so he's still in his preparation.
You know, after what he's done to Ding Liren, I mean, I'd be very scared to fall into this man's preparation.
Yeah, but on the other hand, here one has the feeling like, okay, what are the surprising elements? Not too much. H5. Okay, that's a surprise. We are old school. Castle would have been more natural, but yeah,
Wait.
H4 and then some knight G5.
Knight tends on G5 and it will be very hard to play F6.
Yeah, he's
because
castling
it's
queen
always
side.
hanging, yeah?
Queen side, wow.
Should B5.
Probably king b8. I don't think there's an exchange sack on c6 yet. Okay.
To B8.
I mean, I'm a little concerned about what white is doing here. I mean, like I said, he's down a pawn, but he also gave up the bishop pair.
He has knight C5.
Knight C5.
Yes, no, this whole long castle, H5 long castle operation I'm not liking. Computer also suddenly jumps in white's favor. Bishop E8.
A lot of jumping available. White.
Yeah, and-
A4.
And I just don't feel the pawn. I don't feel like I'm pawn up
Wow.
with black.
Knight a6 is already an idea.
Knight takes B7 also, knight A6, yeah, everything. On the light squares.
Oh, wow, so the initiative actually is pretty serious now.
Right. The bishop on G7 is kind of not contributing at all
At all.
defending the queen side.
Alright, he's
C8.
got a big time advantage.
C8. So how do we proceed from here?
So we can't sack on b7 anymore.
Rook C4. So just bringing
Wow.
more men into the battle.
Yeah, look, EC1 is the idea.
And then you renew the threat of knight takes b7.
Very unpleasant to play
Oh,
this
Arjun's
black.
under big pressure now. And on the clock as well.
And imagine, like, this is a preparation, and just for an argument's sake, the correct move is A6, for instance, and white doesn't have a win but only a potential.
Right.
How do you play A6?
No one will ever
in
play
this game,
a6, right? Okay, knight a5 on the board, okay. Well, now white's got something to calculate. So you don't really want to take on a5 because of rook c5. You gotta look at other things. You could look at knight a6 check.
A6 check kind of works to an extent.
Pawn
but
takes,
takes, you take
rook
C8,
c8, king c8, maybe even...
Okay, but it isn't so. I feel like knight a5 was a very clever move by Arjun, showing his tremendous class. He finds this one moment when he can change the course of the game.
Yeah, that was really, really tricky.
And I think Dubov is now kicking himself a bit that
That he
rushed.
played so fast with rook
Yes.
c4. So what are the options here? You got your rook hanging, your knight hanging.
Yeah, finally probably he will have to settle with something that he would have wanted to avoid.
Knight to A6, right? Take on C8, and perhaps you'll have to take on E8 as well, right?
Yeah.
Then it's not.
Okay, you are not worse, but suddenly black is then you take with the rook, queen takes a6, queen b7 at the end of the line, and
We showed that line, Peter. Knight a6.
yes, let's show this knight a6,
Pawn
b8,
takes, rook
x,
c8.
x,
Oh, but he went for queen a5. Okay.
a5, rook c5. So
What's the idea?
What's now? I mean, you can take c5, go check, but then after
And queen c8.
you don't even win the d4 pawn back.
Right. It's a little confusing what he's aiming for here, and he's equalized on the clock because of that long think.
Or you can get... No, look, all of a sudden...
Yeah, I don't know. White is definitely losing their initiative unless they have something special here.
rook takes c5,
Yeah,
queen
queen
c5,
d8,
check.
queen c8. And what? Queen
Queen
g5? Okay.
Coming at the other end.
Yeah.
Queen g5, yeah, fair enough. So
But-
Wow, queen g5, what a move, yeah?
So now,
Okay, bishop takes b5 and then what?
perhaps he's planning to take on g7 and then queen e5 is a threat and d4 is hanging.
Yes, but you are only recapturing the pawn
Yes,
by
just
knight
like
takes
go bishop
d4.
c6, right, or something.
Yeah, but yeah, somehow maybe this f7, h5 pawns, everything is vulnerable.
Yeah, I wonder after bishop b5 which bishop he's gonna go for.
e7? You're thinking...
Then after bishop c6, you play knight d4.
Knight
You
takes
have time
d4.
for it, yeah.
Right.
Knight d4 and
I thought there was a
check.
brilliant bishop g2
Ah,
option,
but there's
there
bishop
is
queen
no.
e5, yeah,
Queen e5
okay.
check, yeah. So you probably have to just move bishop d5 and play this position.
But then f7 is hanging. Ah no, okay, bishop d5 and knight b5.
b5.
Oof,
Wait a second.
it's just
And
weak.
he captures the
The
bishop.
bishop.
He captures the bishop. f6. Wait a second. f6. So knight c7, king b8 is a perpetual now.
Okay, okay, that would be fine for black.
And yeah, and if you take
What if you go queen d6?
queen d6, I guess rook d8 by the same token, just
Right.
leave the queen under attack, and also this protects the bishop, right?
That's annoying.
f4.
f4.
Or
No.
then can he go
At e5 he's going
5? Yeah, but that
f6.
means
He wants to get both pawns. Yes, he wants to win both.
pawns. Yeah.
Arjun is down to 7 seconds or
I
so.
guess. Okay, you got to be careful with
it's
f3.
crazy,
There's queen
crazy.
c5.
g3,
Okay.
Wow, because of knight c7 fork, a6,
a6. Yeah, you do want to try
queen takes
The
d5.
fact-
F5, nice. You want to get rid of that pawn.
6.
Maybe knight d4.
Yeah, and then the bishop can't stay on the diagonal.
We do want to get rid of the bishop.
Yeah.
What's he thinking about? Okay, knight
Maybe
d4.
whether it's rook e8,
Oh, that's what he was thinking.
knight e6.
Okay, he's knight c7 as a threat, or
Wow, no
not
time.
exactly a threat.
King a7, okay, knight.
d7, queen d4, Arjun blunders queen straight, and rook e3 can Dubov
And
take on
knight
c6.
All right.
That's
Okay,
it.
we got our decisive results, and what is happening in the rest of the games? Let's take a look. So
Oh, fire.
we got Sadwani,
Zdroish.
Zdroish, we got Andrejkin, who's
Winning,
winning,
probably.
probably, yeah. Pranav Maksudlu, let's bring that up
Okay,
because
actually not so easy that game, but yeah, he's pressing Andrejkin.